The Chicago Bears are traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings in this massive Week 11 matchup here in the NFC North. My name is Patrick Seatman. Welcome in the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. And coming up, Week 11 preview, Vikings taking on the Bears. And not a bit of a shocker to me, but I was a little shocked that the Vikings are a 3-point favorite in this matchup. Over-under actually started off at 45.5, and then all types of money came in on the over. Now it's up to 48.5, but the Vegas odds makers are giving the Vikings the nod in this game, having them as a 3-point favorite. So we'll talk about some major injury news on today's show, then also deep dive into the Chicago Bears. They're 6-3, 6-1 in their last 7 games, so they're playing some good football as of late. They're also playing some clutch football as of late, so we'll talk about that. Then I also do want to talk about some of the Vikings' biggest issues. Then at the tail half of today's show, score prediction for this Week 11 matchup. Now, I want to say this first off. This is a typical get-right game for the Minnesota Vikings because, kind of like how we were saying going into that Lions game, how nobody believes in them, fan base is checked out. You just got blasted by the Los Angeles Chargers. People are just like how they're saying this week, should Kevin O'Connell be on the hot seat? It's a little ridiculous, but this is a typical get-right game for the Vikings. And, just like how last week against the Ravens, where people start to buy back in, they think the Vikings could potentially win. They have a massive letdown. Now, it's also the opposite end of the spectrum this week. Nobody believes in them. Playing a team of the Bears at home. This is a typical Viking spot where they normally end up getting right. But there's no doubt. If the Vikings lose this game, you could kiss the playoffs goodbye. It is a tough spot. There's going to be a lot of pressure on this team. So if you guys want the Vikes to keep the season alive, go down there, hit that thumbs up icon. I'm going to put today's goal as 500 likes. So help me out. Hit that thumbs up button. We need a win this week. So if you guys could, smash that thumbs up button. All right, let's talk about the Bears injury report here first. Wide receiver DJ Moore dealing with a bunch of injuries. He's dealing with a shoulder, a hip, and a groin injury. Also got their wide receiver 5'6", Jade Walker dealing with a concussion. TJ Edwards, hand and hamstring injury. Dominique Robinson dealing with an ankle. Rubin, their linebacker, dealing with a knee, and the Josh Blackwell, one of their corners, dealing with a concussion. Now, on the Vikings injury front, Jonathan Gennard obviously left that game with a shoulder injury, but he also avoided major injury, which was good news. Ryan Kelly, still on short-term IR, could open up his practice window this week. Still TBD on that. Now, Theo Jackson and Jeff Okudah missed this past week, dealing with a concussion. And Josh Oliver suffered that foot injury against the Los Angeles Chargers. TBD if he's going to be able to go. Foot sprain, difficult injury, especially when you're a tight end and a physical tight end like Josh Oliver is. But still, Vikings on the injury front, pretty healthy across the board. But the biggest injury news was Jonathan Gennard. When this injury went down during the Week 10 matchup against the Ravens, I thought there was a chance he could have been ruled out for the remainder of the season. But Ian Rappaport tweeted this out saying Vikings edge, Jonathan Gennard, who left Sunday's loss with a shoulder injury, is dealing with his what to believed a minor injury that may just cost him week. Overall, good news, though. I will say, if Jonathan Gennard can't go for the Vikings are probably in serious trouble here because the Bears' offense is, it is a high-powered attack. Ben Johnson has done a fantastic job, and the Bears play clutch football late in the fourth quarter. They're starting to have that belief within that locker room where they feel like they can go out there, win every single game, especially offensively. So if Gennard can't go, the Vikes will be in serious trouble because even though I think Andrew Van Ginkel is the most important piece on this defense, he is that glue. Gennard's still your best player. Even though he has been able to get home to the quarterback as much as he did last year, he still generates pressures at a high level. He's been fantastic against the run. So if he can't go out there, especially going against a Bears offense that loves to run the football, they're second in the league in rushing. If he can't go and Vikes don't have 58, could be some problems this Sunday in U.S. Bank Stadium. But we are going to be starting our Week 11 sub battle versus Bears now here. We're going to start off at 0 subs a pop. So if you guys are brand new here to the channel, want to support me, want to get more Vikings content on your YouTube page, go down there, hit that subscribe button today. We'll keep you guys posted with everything around your Minnesota Vikings. So hit that subscribe button and help us beat Bears now in our Week 11 subscriber battle. All right, let's talk about the Chicago Bears and just deep dive into how they've started this season 6-3. Obviously, the Vikings beat them Week 1 in that crazy fourth quarter comeback where J.J. McCarthy, he completely shocked the NFL world and got a big-time win. And then they also got blasted by the Detroit Lions in Week 2. But since then, they have been ripping off wins. Now, have they beat a good team this year? No, but they beat the Cowboys when they lost CeeDee Lamb 31-14. Then they have back-to-back wins with the exact same score of 25-24, blocked a field goal late against the Las Vegas Raiders, beat the Washington Commanders on Monday night, 25-24. Bounced back again at home against the Saints, won that game 26-14. Then they did lose to the Ravens as well, but without Lamar Jackson on the road in Baltimore. But then they had that crazy shootout game against the Cincinnati Bengals, won that 47-42. Against the Giants this past week, ended up winning that game where they were down 20-10 with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Were able to pull off a win 24-20. That's why the record right now sits at 6-3. But why are the Bears 6-3? It's because of their offense. Their offense is humming. They're third in yards per game, averaging almost 400 per outing. Pass yards per game, 11th in the league. But their calling card with Ben Johnson now, and especially with that offensive line cooking, DeAndre Swift, Kyle Monungai, their 7th-round rookie out of Rutgers, they've been able to run the football. 147.3 rush yards per game, second in the NFL. They're averaging 26.6 points per game, which is 7th. They've been pretty damn good on third downs compared to the Vikings, which we have struggled on third downs, converting 41.4%. And I could already call it like it is, even though they don't have like that true statement win just yet. Ben Johnson is a fantastic head coach, and it really has that Bears team believing. And Ben Johnson, I was a little skeptical of if he was able to change the culture as quickly as he's been able to in Chicago, but he's done just that. Like his locker room speeches are electric. Like clearly these guys love playing for him, and just offensively, schematically, the guy's a madman. He just puts his team in advantageous situations over and over again, and he's got this team believing, which is so key as an NFL head coach. So it is a legit, it's not your dad's Bears. Like this is a legit head coach, and he has definitely changed life there in Chicago, and he's also changed life for the quarterback, Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, even though he is, it's taken him some time to really develop into a solid starting franchise quarterback, but he's played some great football as of late. His escapability in the pocket is absolutely unreal. He actually has the most missed tackles forced at the quarterback position this year with 23, where the guy in second is Josh Allen at 17. So it's tough to bring this guy down. And, he's having a great year. 13 touchdowns on the season, takes care of the football. And, still with him, he's not the best quarterback yet in structure, but, when he's outside of structure, this guy can still throw some lasers, man. He puts this ball on a freaking frozen rope every single time. And it is just fastball after fastball after fastball. I think he's got probably the most velocity out of any quarterback in the NFL. So you still see that, like, superpower ability Caleb has. Now, if he can figure out, like, the short passing game stuff, being more accurate, hitting his receivers in stride, like, the Bears probably have one of them ones at the quarterback position. But the offense has been great, but it's been really about the rushing attack. Yards per carry in the NFL this season, Bears are averaging 5 per game, or 5 rush yards per carry, which is 3rd in the NFL. They also love pounding the rock, almost averaging 30 rushes per game. I'm sure as Vikings fans are seeing these stats a little sick to our stomachs, but like I said, 2nd in the league in rushing yards per game. They're averaging 1.2 rush touchdowns per game, which is 6th in the NFL. So they are clearly a very good rushing offense. And if you want to go quiet the crowd in Minneapolis this weekend, probably starts with dominating on the ground. Now, where they have struggled offensively, but they have been better as of late, is their touchdown rate in the red zone. So they offensively are scoring 55.6% of the time in the red zone, which is 22nd in the NFL, and defensively, pretty good, only giving up a touchdown on 57.6% of the plays or trips to the red zone. So, I expect the Bears to be a better red zone offense than what they've shown this year. They've been much better as of late, but still, those super high leverage moments where you need your quarterback to be super accurate. Caleb has struggled there, but he's still got this kind of superpower ability with his arm talent and his escapability. But where the Bears are susceptible, and is definitely their defense. I think their defense is pretty damn bad. Now, why they have also played some impact into them winning 6 of their last 7 games is their ability to take the football away. Takeaways per game, averaging 2.2, which is 1st in the National Football League. But offensively or defensively, they can get gashed. Like, they're giving up 3.2 touchdowns per game, 6.3 yards per play, giving up 27.4 points per game, which is 28th in the league, and they're almost giving up 400 yards a game. So I'll say this about KOC and J.J. McCarthy. If you can't get this offense going, I will be very concerned because you're at home. You're going to have the crowd behind you. You're not going into a hostile environment. It's going to be back-to-back weeks at home as well. It's going to be comfortable. You're going to be on your normal routine. And if you can't get this offense going, I'm going to be very concerned. Like, just let alone Kevin O'Connell should do enough against Dennis Allen and that Bears defense to get the Vikings to at least 24 points this weekend. But if they can't, probably some major concerns heading not just for the rest of the season, but probably heading into the offseason about your head coach and your quarterback. So you guys predict the score for me. I'll give you guys mine at the tail after today's show. Bears, Vikings, U.S. Bank Stadium this weekend. Big-time matchup for both teams and both of their playoff chances. So if you guys could, predict the score for me down below in the comments section. Now we'll dive into some of the Vikings' biggest issues here and give you guys my score prediction. But today's episode is brought to you guys by PrizePicks. Now, the hard-hitting football action is even better with PrizePicks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on PrizePicks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. PrizePicks is the only app that offers stacks. You can pick up to the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. So, for example, if you guys want to pick more on Josh Allen's pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns, now you can't pick all of them in the same lineup only on PrizePicks. You guys can also follow the PrizePicks players directly on the app and copy their lineups in just one click. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit that follow button and check out every lineup they create in the brand new feed tab on PrizePicks. So download the PrizePicks app today, plug in that promo code CONS, get hooked up with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code CONS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. But shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's show. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. No shocker here for the first change the Vikings need to make. Been saying it all year. Been saying it under the entire Kevin O'Connell era. You got to get the run game. You got to get the quick pass game going. And this is 2 folds. All right, no, it's actually 1 fold. You want to make J.J. McCarthy's life easier? You do both these things. If you force this kid to throw the ball 40-plus times again, have 47 dropbacks like you did against the Ravens, he's going to put the ball in harm's way. It's not a shocker by saying that. He's going to be making his 5th career start. If you ask him to throw the ball that much again, he will turn the ball over. Vikings will lose the turnover battle, and he is just not at that time yet in his NFL career where you can ask him to kind of put the team on his back and really carry this team to a victory. Now, if it's late in the game, asking him to make some big-time clutch plays, yeah, maybe the Vikings, can put the ball in his hands a lot more, but still, just throughout the game, run the football, get the quick passing game going. That would be huge. And then also, just a short yardage play calling. You got to get T.J. Hockenson going eventually. I understand he is not the same guy that he once was, but him not getting the ball whatsoever is just inexcusable. He is still a good tight end. Is he a great tight end? No, but he is not one of the worst tight ends in the league. He's just solid. So get him involved. Have him be the safety net for J.J. McCarthy. That's on the head coach. That's on the scheme. So that's going to be huge against the Bears this weekend. And then also, you just got to play a clean game. This Bears defense is not good. But if you turn the ball over, you allow them to get going, they're quieting the crowd, and they're coming into your building. They're going to be building confidence. You cannot have also Miles Price, my guy, you have been so good this season. You can't put the ball in the dirt, back-to-back kick returns. That just can't happen. You got to play a clean game, and that also kind of leans into my 4th one, where you have to lean on the defense. Understand that you have one of the best defenses in the league. I really do believe that. Even though they've given up 24 points, 27 points each of the last 2 weeks, they're still one of the better units. They have done a great job against the Lions. They did a great job against the Ravens. Lean into that. So how do you lean into that? You play a clean game, and you run the football a lot more. You shorten this game. You play more of how the Denver Broncos are playing with Bo Nix, where they're leaning on that defense, where they're putting the game in the hands of the defense, saying they're going to be the reason we go win. Vikings got to do that exact same thing. So lean on those guys. Lean on those 11 on that side of the football, and you should be just right. And then lastly, get Jordan Addison going, please, for the love of God. Jordan Addison's too good to not get the football. And, I understand he had 11 targets this past week. I don't know how he got to 11 targets. I just think that was a little wrong in terms of guys counting those stats. But get him the jet sweeps. Get him going in the quick passing game. Just like how you get, Justin Jefferson going. Do the same thing with Jordan Addison. He is too good. He is a fantastic wide receiver. So get Addison the football. Free 3. Hopefully they're able to do that this weekend. But my prediction for this game, I think it's going to be a tight one. But like I was saying at the top of today's show, I think it's going to be a typical Vikings somehow pull it off when everybody's feeling down about this team. So I have the Vikes winning this football game 28-27. I think the Vikings will probably be, this could be a situation where the Vikings are, up 28-20 late in the 4th quarter, and the Bears are trying to get a comeback going. I don't know. Maybe this is me drinking too much purple Kool-Aid, some blind faith right here, but I think the Vikings will win this game. 28-27 is my score prediction. But you got to get a win this weekend. And if you guys want the Vikes to beat the Bears, give me those skulls down below in the comment section. We'll be live for this game Sunday, an hour before kickoff. So hit that subscribe button as well. See you guys next time. Let's go Vikes.